What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all absolutely fantastic, and today, as usual, we're gonna continue the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. And we begin with its second book, alright? And it's gonna be the first part of it. Let's get started. You may remember, dear Quintus, that when we were boys, it was widely believed that Lucius Crassus' contact with learning had not extended beyond the opportunities afforded him by the elementary education normal for a boy, and that Marcus Antonius was entirely unacquainted with any instruction whatsoever. There were also many people who did not believe these to be the case, but who still willingly proclaimed this opinion about these orators, hoping that these would make it easier to deter us, fired as we were with the desire to learn, from our studies. For if men without a theoretical background had attained a consummate degree of practical insight and an unbelievable level of eloquence, all of our labor, they imagined, would appear worthless, and the devotion that our excellent and intelligent father gave to seeing us educated would seem mere folly. We used to refute such people then, as boys would, by calling on witness from our own family, our father, our relative Gaius Aculio, and our uncle Lucius Cicero. We heard about Crassus from our father and from Aculio, who was married to our mother's sister, and whom, among all his friends, Crassus liked the most. And our uncle often told us much about the dedication to learning of Antonius, whom he had accompanied throughout his Sicilian command. We were also, together with our cousin Secula's sons, learning what Crassus approved of, and were, moreover, being instructed by those teachers with whom he associated. So when we were at his home, we often realized something that even we as boys could perceive. He spoke Greek with such fluency that he seemed to know no other language, and in questioning our teachers, he put such problems before them, and he also handled such topics himself in all of his conversations, that nothing seemed new to him, nothing beyond the range of his knowledge. As to Antonius, we had often heard from our highly cultured uncle how actively he engaged in discussions with learned men at both Athens and Rhodes. Nevertheless, as a young man, I often personally questioned him on many subjects, as far as the modesty of my young age allowed. This will certainly be no surprise to you, for you used to hear me say even then that it seemed to me, on the basis of many and varied discussions, that at least in those branches of knowledge on which I could form a judgment, there was nothing with which he was inexperienced or unfamiliar. Both men, however, had a practical way of handling these matters. Crassus wanted to be thought of not so much as someone who had learned nothing, but rather as one who looked down on these things and, in every area, preferred our practical Roman wisdom to what the Greeks had to offer, while Antonius estimated that his orator would be more persuasive with our people if he were thought never to have learned anything at all. Thus, each reckoned that he would carry more authority, the one if he was seen to despise the Greeks, the other if he seemed not even to know of them. Alright, guys, we've done with the first part of the second book, and we're gonna continue tomorrow on the next one. So, thank you for joining in this reading session. See you tomorrow. Bye.